It's sad to see a series of such high quality end prematurely. Every single season, every single episode was solid and didn't waste any of its time. With each episode being so short, it manages to accomplish so much more than most shows with double the time. The final season has strong train car designs as usual, some fun tidbits of world building, an interesting duo, and a new type of relationship to tackle. However, this being essentially the finale to the whole series does have its issues. It's not the showrunner's fault that they weren't greenlit for another season, but they happen to end on a very strange note. So I'm going to be exploring the train, possibly for the last time, and discovering what A Tale of Two can explain about the younger generation's feeling of existential dread with Infinity Train Season 4. I plan to talk about the series as a whole, but first, as a standalone, how is Season 4? It's a story about lost dreams, the weight of expectations, how people change as they grow up, and yet how they can stay the same. Season 4 takes us back before Season 1 even happened to the start of Amelia's takeover of the train. Min and Ryan are two people that are trying to push forward in their lives but are failing to achieve happiness. Both have always had a dream of being in a band and traveling the country, but over time, Min's family putting pressure on him to succeed with schooling pushed the two of them apart. The breaking point being Min ditching Ryan before they were set to perform one night. The season is about their journey of making up with each other. Ryan has to consider other people's feelings more, and Min has to recapture his love for music to pursue his dream. The issues both characters have aren't as cut and dry, with each of them having a valid reason for their issues. To have a pair of passengers right at the beginning makes their story even more compelling because instead of just improving themselves, they have to help each other overcome their problems. Although the premise they start off with is interesting, I feel like this one doesn't hold up as strong as the others. Season 1 through 3 all had conflicts and dynamics that were extremely fascinating that have a slice of life, simple story as the send-off arc just isn't as satisfying. It seems this season would have served as a break from the heavier plots of the previous seasons, before then continuing the trend. But unfortunately, the series has been finished, at least for the moment. The chemistry between the two main characters is good, but I felt like their conflict with one another wasn't that compelling. For the most part, each of their issues are very surface level, and a lot of episodes here kind of drag out. The plot is essentially them going back and forth, from improving their relationship to starting over from square one. While the struggles each of them have are very real and relatable, each wasn't given enough depth to explore each of the presented themes. Min has a one-liner that trying to be an Asian musician would be difficult, but that's the only time that idea is even brought up. Ryan has an issue with Min not pursuing his dream alongside him like they always wanted, but his side of the conflict isn't given enough to sink into. We know he's been struggling to find his way since the two of them parted ways, but they don't get enough moments of reflection. But following trends from previous seasons, the new companion character Kez was amazing. Easily tied for the funniest character in the series next to 1-1, maybe even being the funniest. Her mannerisms are so fascinating. Her line delivery at times is on another level, and has such a unique unpredictability about them. I do have to say that the train cars in this season were really great, with a stronger focus on unique kinds than Season 3. In particular, my favorites were the Astro Q car and the Art Gallery cars. The different themes present had so much variety just like Season 2, and really brought more of that adventurousness that Season 3 didn't have as much of a focus on. It wasn't at all an issue for that story, but definitely a welcome addition here. Unfortunately, I think Season 4 for me ends up being the weakest of the seasons. Not to say this season is bad, not at all. Every single season of this show is top notch, no question. But if I had to rank each season, this one would be my least favorite. While Min and Ryan had a strong dynamic, their conflicts and storyline weren't as compelling as others previously. Also, a lot of the episodes this season felt like filler with not much progress happening and little conflict progression. I get it was done on purpose to have the characters constantly progress and regress, but it makes them near suddenly making up near the end a little less believable. But I still loved watching the season regardless, and I'm sad that as of right now, no new seasons are going to come out. With this series coming to an end, how was all of it as a whole? Easily one of the best shows on Cartoon Network for one. The storytelling is leagues above what most cartoons even strive for, and the creativity with world building done here was a joy to explore. The most impressive part of all these seasons is that they utilized the same premise, technically the same universe, and still managed to keep everything fresh. Every single protagonist had a unique personality, conflict, storyline, and ending. Every single companion was lovable and never failed to make me smile. The contrast between the many fun-loving train cars and the stark wasteland outside always looms over the characters. The dialogue transitioning from conversation to conversation smoothly. The subtle mannerisms of the characters. The growth even the minor characters went through was phenomenal. The ability to world build in these train microcosmos, while allowing for an in-depth look into the psyche of the leads, but not skipping out on any other aspect of the story, feels almost unheard of in a time where writing is very hit or miss. It can't be understated just how strong the writing this series has. The nuances with the interpersonal relationships, the kinds of struggles on display, from Amelia to Tulip to her reflection, had such a unique, strong, down-to-earth element that I felt like the lives of people I knew were on display. The amount of time it must have taken to design design each and every unique train car with 4 seasons, not having a single car that ripped off the idea of another one? HBO and Cartoon Network are missing out on something huge for not allowing the creator Owen Dennis to complete his vision. I can only hope this series gets the rest of its material greenlit as it deserves. Overall, if I gave this series a number score, it would be at least an 8 or 9. Every single season had something special about it, from the characters, to the plot lines, to the world building, to the writing, even in small bits of dialogue. A classic in the making that other cartoon story writers can look to as an example of one done right. What did you all think of season 4? And what did you think of the series as a whole? What were your favorite moments and characters? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, check out the playlist for more videos like this one. I hope to see you next time.